Welcome to today's press conference. The Fight Crime Cmte has just had a meeting. Secretary for Security will first brief us on the law and order situation for the first 10 months of the year. And then FCC member, Mr. Chris Tang, will give us an update on the Superintendent's discretion scheme for the first half of the year, and then we will take your questions. Secretary, please. Members of the public and media friends, good morning and good afternoon. Just now we have had a meeting of the Fight Crime Cmte, in which the Commissioner for Police has briefed us on the law and order situation for the first 10 months of the year, as well as the Superintendent's discretion scheme. Now I will first report to you the crime statistics for the first 10 months of the year, and then I will invite member, Mr. Chris Tang, to report to you the Superintendent's discretion scheme for the first half of the year. For the first 10 months this year, overall crime figure stands at 56,852, up 6.6%. Numerically, it is an increase of 3,512. For violent crimes, there were 7,290, down by 8.6%. Major crime statistics have recorded a drop, including burglary, down by 42.6%, and various robberies, down by 39%. For sex crimes, including rape has dropped by 33.8%, indecent assault down by 8.1%. Wounding and serious assault has recorded a drop of 14.2%. Theft has decreased by 6.3%. In terms of burglary cases and miscellaneous robberies, we have recorded the lowest figures for the past 30 years. Two major crimes types have increased, including deception cases, a rise of 20%, and also deception, 22,309, up by 43%. The overall crime figures increase is mainly due to the rise of deception cases, an increase of some 6,673 cases, accounting for more than 3,000 cases among the total increase of overall crime. Some 76% of deceptions are naked scams. 22,309 deception cases account for close to 40% of the overall crime figures. For deception cases, some 70% of them are online scams. They include 46%, which are online commercial scams involving online shopping and transactions. And also, 43% of online scams are social media scams, including compensated dating and online romance, or online job scams, or online investment scams. The three types of scams have recorded significant increases between 9.3% to 18.8%. Besides online scams, 10% of online scams are phone scams. They are impersonating public officer scams or guess who I am scams. Now, concerning the significant trend of increase of online scams, for the first 10 months, our anti-deception coordination center's hotline, that is 18222, have intercepted 748 scams, and also intercepted more than $1.1 billion of money involved. Now, we have engaged in a comprehensive anti-scam campaign. First of all, we have a program to offer emotional support to analyze the disturbances faced by scam victims by KOLs. And we also have the anti-scam test across the territory. Through mock scam, we lure citizens to scan the QR code through fake goodies and fake discounts. The QR code will take the user to a website for anti-deception messages. And also starting late November, we have begun broadcasting anti-scam messages in 17 vehicular tunnels in Hong Kong to warn citizens against online shopping, investments, and phone scams. And we have also launched the one-stop scam and pitfall searching engine, that is the Scam Meter. Since its launch on the 30th of September, more than 110,000 people have used the Scam Meter to identify scam and online pitfalls by entering suspicious platforms, phone, and email. Some 17,000 such phone calls and emails were intercepted. And also, we have been working with telecommunication operators. We have set up a task force with them so that in the future, for phone numbers which are confirmed to be related to scam, they will be screened out. And also, for suspicious phone numbers, they may be tagged and the users can be warned. Now, among phone calls, many of them make use of technology. In terms of technology crime, we have a brand new platform.
And this eHub is a one-stop center for us to receive, analyze, and refer technology crimes and deception, and conduct a correlation analysis. We've also just set up the Cyber Crimes Police Advisory Group, which comprises 12 members from different sectors: academia, education, chambers of commerce, finance, IT, telecom, and public organizations. They are brought together to help the police to come up with short, medium, and long-term strategies. Together with the SJ, we have set up the cross-institutional intelligence system, which is called Honeypot. Over the past year, we have recorded 135 cyber threats, including 175,000 malicious attacks, with 40 wholly different malicious attacks. All these are related to cyber crimes, and we are taking measures to guard against these crimes. Let me turn now to dangerous drugs. We have seen a reduction of 5.7%. Although this is on a downward trend, the seizure of cannabis has increased by twofold. We cannot take this lightly. We will take a zero-tolerance attitude towards drugs. We adopt intelligence-led operations. We have seized the largest case of cannabis bud involving 900 kilograms worth $190 million. And we're also including CBD as some drug under the Dangerous Drugs Ordinance, and this will come into effect on the 1st of February 2023. Upon commencement of the amendment, anybody in possession of CBD will be committing an offense. So before the law comes into effect, members of the public should dispose of the CBD-containing products. In terms of prevention and publicity, the HKJC Drug Info Center has been refurbished and open to the public. And there are a lot of exhibits that are interactive, and we are adopting more lively measures to tackle drugs. In December, the festive mood is pervading Hong Kong, and many people are taking vacation outside Hong Kong or get together with friends. I urge people to be on guard against drugs on their vacation. Let me turn now to triad activities. We have been taking rigorous measures to tackle triad activities because they are posing a threat to society. Over the past month, we have noticed a number of serious wounding involving the triad elements, and all of them have been detected. Triad-related cases have seen a slight increase by 14.9%. The main reason for the increase has to do with gambling and deception. Wounding and assault involving the triad elements have seen an increase of 3. For the serious wounding, we've seen a drop of 14.2%. But in relation to the triad-related cases, we understand the members of the public's concern. So in November, we have mounted an anti-triad operation. We have mounted a high-profile patrol. We've also tackled the source of revenue on the part of the police. We have arrested 900 people involving some senior members of triad gangs, and they were involved in conspiracy to wound, possession of offensive weapons, trafficking in dangerous drugs, and claiming to be members of the triad society. I now turn to Mr. Chen in relation to the superintendent discretion scheme.
Thank you, Secretary. The FCC, in its meeting just now, received a report from the police force concerning the superintendent's discretion scheme for the first half of the year. I will report to you the highlights of the report as well as relevant deliberation. First of all, the police superintendent's discretion scheme is a scheme which allowed a police officer at the grade of police superintendent or above to use his discretion to administer supervision on young offenders between the age of 10 to 18 who have committed minor offenses, to give them a chance to turn over a new leaf. Now, we understood that for the first half of the year, altogether 769 young offenders have been arrested for various offenses. The number of arrestees compared with the same period last year has decreased. Still, we have noticed an increase of young offenders for conventional crimes. The top 3 types of crimes are wounding, serious assault, criminal damage, as well as serious drug offenses. Among the 769 arrested youngsters, 64 have been put under superintendent's discretion scheme, accounting for 8.3% of the total number of young people arrested. Most of the scheme's participants are between the age of 13 and 16. The decrease in number is due to the nature of offenses committed by some young offenders. It is too serious for them to enroll in the scheme. Having notified that the parents of these youngsters would be referred to our young offender supervision group for visiting. They will also be referred to NGOs, the Social Welfare Department, or the Education Bureau for other follow-up actions. Each young offender may be referred to more than one institution for follow-up actions. During the first 2 years after the completion of the discretion scheme, we have seen a higher reoffending rate for the year. In year 2019, the reoffending rate was 8.2%. It is still a low level. However, the FCC thinks we have to keep an eye on the future trend so that we can adopt appropriate measures to avoid reoffending of young offenders. The FCC supports the police superintendent's discretion scheme as it offers a chance to turn over a new page for young offenders. Through counseling and other services, that we can help young people to return to the right path. In terms of crime prevention, we agree that we should start with primary school students in terms of enhancing law-abiding awareness. We are pleased to learn that the police has been taking forward a series of work to enhance crime awareness of young people. For example, the online e-book which help young people to identify bullying as well as online crimes. Now in Pakhang, we have established a new escape room to help young people develop their law-abiding awareness. Thank you so much. Now we will take questions. Before you ask your questions, please raise your hand and please limit your questions to no more than 2 and tell us your media organization. The lady in the middle.
One question from TMHK. So you once described the white paper protest here in Hong Kong of showing signs of a color revolution. So does that assessment still stand? And if it does, can the public expect arrest soon?
Thank you for your questions. I think about 2 weeks ago, we have observed a sign of a provocation to social unrest through some anti-China social media. And we have also observed that some of the back violence fugitive in the social media, they also the provocation of people of Hong Kong to participate in such kind of activities. And we also observed that there's a few of those 2019 back violence participants, they are also involved in those activities. And at the scene of those activities, we also observe some words relating to like seditions or subversion. As Secretary for Security, I think I have the responsibility, first of all, to advise the university management about the possibility of the campus being used as basis against the interests of the national security. And I have also to advise the public, in particular the youth people, not to be provoked by those fugitives to come out and to commit offenses like what happened in 2019. I think I also have to come out to warn those people who try to cause social unrest in Hong Kong. You will be failure because we'll make every effort to interdict such actions and we'll take resolute actions against any attempt to cause national security or other security issues in Hong Kong. I think following what I have advised and warned the public, the situation has become died down. I will consider this is a success of a joint effort of people of Hong Kong in safeguarding the national security and security of Hong Kong. Thank you.
Next question, please. The lady in white. Good afternoon, Secretary. I'm from Ming Pao Daily. Writing on the previous question on the white paper revolution, would the police not take forward any arrest action? Now you said concerning a triad, there are 3 more wounding cases in relation to triad. So what is the percentage and what is the actual number? According to some survey, it seems that there is a trend of more triad clashes in different districts. So you said that Hong Kong is an international city, but do you think it is a dangerous one? 2 weeks ago, we have noticed signs that some people have been using anti-China social media platform to provoke people to come out and carry out acts which may endanger our security, especially to cause a social unrest. We have also noticed that some offenders who were not caught during the 2019 saga were inciting others to come out through social media platform. And also we have noticed 2019 black-clad violence figures among the participants of the activities. We have noticed words which may relate to subversion or sedition of the country. As the Secretary for Security, it is my duty to remind university management to prevent the campuses being used as a base to endanger national security. I also remind the public, especially young people, against being provoked. Those who provoke others are actually in foreign places. They don't have to take any responsibility. These people will be indicted under the national security law, and they will meet the full force of the law. So after my advice, these activities have died down. I think this is a successful example of Hong Kong people protecting national security by standing united together. So far, we have made no arrest yet. However, for any law-breaking behavior, we will collect evidence and take prosecutorial action if needed. Now, in terms of triad activities, we have seen several triad-related violence cases. We understand the public's concern. In fact, we have seen an increase of 14.9% in terms of triad-related cases. These are violence or drug-related cases. So in terms of triad cases, we have seen 3 more cases compared with the last year. Of course, we don't want to see any violence in society. That's why we have enhanced patrol as well as surprise inspection and made arrest of more than 900 people for offenses like possession of offensive weapons, trafficking in dangerous drugs, or proclaiming to be a triad member. Thank you.
Next question, lady in the second row, please. HK01. About the white paper protest, and the Secretary made it very clear about the situation. Have you conducted any investigation into these issues? And you said you have the obligation to remind the universities of all these. What action would you take to ask the university to tie in with this? We've seen some murders or homicides involving the carers. How can we prevent these incidents from happening? Right, let me take these questions one at a time. Now, for acts that are endangering Hong Kong's safety and security, if an offence has been committed, we will gather evidence. If there is evidence, we would take follow-up action. But at this point in time, we have not made any arrests. The second question. All right. As I said, we have to make sure that the universities will not become the base to engage in any activities endangering national security. I'm sure that the universities will guard against this, and I'm sure that they will take appropriate action. And if they find it necessary, they can call the police. Third question? Homicide. Yes, homicide. Involving the carers. Yes, indeed, we've seen some homicides involving the carers. Now we will be collecting evidence in our investigation and take prosecution. This involves some caring issues in society. The government will consider how best we can do a better job in these areas. Let's pick the last question. Second row. Cable TV. Now, the erroneous playing of national anthem in overseas jurisdictions. Have you conducted an investigation? How far along is the investigation? And also Google's search engine, have they taken an action to adjust the order of the search? Yes, the Organized and Serious Crimes Unit is conducting investigation. At the moment, we don't have any evidence to show that any athletes or any staff members are involved in these kind of incidents. I'd like to say that the national anthem in Hong Kong is the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. That's the March of the Volunteers. That there's only one national anthem. Anybody who is trying to confuse other people is wrong. In the Google search engine, they show the protest songs relating to the 2019 protest when people search the national anthem. And this is offending the sensibilities of the people of Hong Kong. We've made a representation with Google for the national anthem to be put on top, but this was rejected. And what they say is that this is a part of the algorithm, and it's not for them to decide. It's all down to algorithm. But as we all know, if you pay for advertising, they would put the advertisement at a pretty high level. If Google were to say that there is nothing they can do about it, then this is really mind-boggling, and this is not acceptable to the people of Hong Kong. We noticed that the European Court ruled that Google has to delete all the inaccurate search results, and Google has agreed to comply with the instructions. But as far as our request to Google, they rejected that. Are they applying a double standard? Do they owe us an explanation? The Hong Kong government will take all measures to rectify the situation. All right, thank you all very much. That's it for the press conference.